I've been thinking about other news, news as in the non-Trumpian variety. Because lately it seems like there's less of it, or it doesn't get as much attention, or it just sort of is a blip on the media radar. For example, Los Angeles has won the Olympics. And when I first heard about this, it was like the fifth item on a newscast, got about 2 sentences, and then went on to the weather or the sports or whatever. And I thought, oh, this must have broken yesterday or this morning, and I missed it, and this is now the second day. But no, it never really became, except obviously in California, a huge story. Yes, I know it's not until 2028, but this will be the first time in about 3 decades that an American city will play host to the Olympics. And there were lots of other examples like that. Yesterday, the Dow broke 22,000. Yeah, everybody reported it. Everybody had the headlines up. And it's really quite remarkable. It's only took 5 months to go from 21,000 to 22,000. But it wasn't sort of, it was business news. It wasn't sort of huge news, although millions and millions of people are affected and, have more money in their pockets as a result. And HBO, HBO has been the target of this massive cyber attack. At first, it just came out that an advanced script for this coming week's Game of Thrones was leaked. Well, Game of Thrones, everybody likes to hear about that, even if you're not in the cult like me. So that made a little bit of news, but the fact that it was, several times as big as the Sony hack, nevertheless doesn't seem to have gotten a lot of traction. So I think what's going on here is we've all, and I mean, when I say we, I mean people in my business, but maybe many of you as well, become addicted to this sort of Trump news cycle. Like every day there's got to be 5 Trump stories, some about scandal, some about outrage, some about, hey, did you hear what he said, some making fun of him. And I think that what's happening is, the whole controversy, the whole bleeping controversy surrounding Anthony Scaramucci probably got, 100 times more coverage than these other stories combined. Maybe it's because we're addicted, but there's a financial incentive here. All these news operations, whether they are kind of positioning themselves as anti-Trump or challenging Trump or pro-Trump or even trying to be down the middle, they all have a financial incentive now to cover Donald Trump and things related to Donald Trump and his family and Russia and all of that, because it brings circulation and clicks and ratings. And so that, I think, it's not that none of this is not news, and it's all very fascinating, and the country is kind of following this like a soap opera. Who's in, who's out? Look, Sean Spicer's quitting, Reince is out. No, Scaramucci's in. No, Scaramucci's out because John Kelly is in. All of that and more. I'm not saying it's not real news, important news, legitimate news, although a lot of the real news is going on in the departments and agencies, and some of that is getting a little bit of coverage. But for just about anything else this side of an alien invasion, it seems like it just kind of ratchets down on some kind of imaginary 1 to 10 scale, where they're all 1s and 2s, and Sports Illustrated, in the 24th paragraph of a story about President Trump and golf, says that according to a bunch of golfers at his New Jersey club, he said he likes to go there because that White House is a dump. Now, that would be news, except the White House denied it, as the story says. That's gotten more attention than these other stories. So maybe this is just Donald Trump's media universe right now, and we're all living in it. But part of me thinks people are maybe getting tired of the constant barrage and want to hear about something else.